What's up, YouTube? Long time, been a while. Happy Fly Tie Friday. I've got a trip tomorrow, so I'm going to stuff the box with some go-tos. I had a trip last week. Many of you probably saw the video. Very successful trip. Caught a lot of brook trout, which was nice. Caught a wild rainbow trout, and that's post Hurricane Helene. So I know that trout survived somehow, some way. Very, very thankful for that. That was a cool fish. Right now I'm going to tie up some stonefly patterns. One of my favorite stonefly pattern, actually. I'm going to use a size 10, U10. And then we're going to put that on there. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If you could, just smash that like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Should have some more videos coming out this year. I kind of had a shorter season last year with the hurricane coming through, kind of messing up everything in the fall. And things are still pretty destroyed, but the hatchery has been stocking some fish, and I'm thankful that it's not completely wiped out everywhere. So yeah, there you go. Just go ahead and put the bead on there. You can use any color. These are my favorite colors though that I'm using. That's going to be our leg material. That's going to be the body material. So how's everybody out there? How's the fishing? Everybody catching fish? Give me the scouting report. If you were going trout fishing tomorrow, where would you go? I'm going to tie a couple of these, so I just been about that much or so. That should do two. Hopefully it'll do two. All right, so I've got the bobbin loaded up with some dark brown thread. You can do some thicker thread, maybe like 140 denier. First thing I'm going to do is just get it started. Go ahead and get a leg. I've already cut these down. This pack will come in a long strip, and then just take that chunk and hold it up and just cut it in half with your scissor. Get you a leg. Just a couple wraps to kind of get it started, and then you can manipulate kind of where you want that to rest. Bring it down maybe a wrap, and then pinch that back, kind of fold it back over itself. A couple loose wraps there, you don't want to go too tight. And then you can kind of manipulate a little bit, kind of where it goes, so you can kind of split it. And we can work with it later on. You can kind of, mess with it later, but now we're going to kind of hold it in place, wrap back a little bit to kind of flatten that some. and then get your whip finisher and go ahead and whip finish right there. Just a few turns. All right. Right here, this is a good time. Just go ahead and throw a little super glue drop right on that, right on the head. You don't need much right there. Just enough to just wet the thread. Push that up. And then that's good for now. All right, now, to me, this is the biggest trick, honestly, if there's a trick in a fly or whatever, but this is important. You need to do a lead wire wrap to further weight that section before the bend. That really kicks that fly in the water column kind of up and lets it ride like that. And I just think the trout really like that. I think it also helps you not get snagged up. Yeah, maybe about, I don't really count, but 13. Do 13 right there. That's a good number anyways. All right, now you can readjust the fly and the vise right there. And then let's start building up a little bit of a thread dam behind that wire. So we'll get it started. And you're just going back and forth. Go slow up top, come back, and then you're working on a taper. Kind of a little thicker up by here. And then bring it back and transition. Just going back and forth, up and down. And you can take your time here too. We're close. We're close to grabbing. There we go. All right, once you're cured, bring it all the way up to the head. A few wraps into that wire, and then bring it on back. Notice I'm using a pinch right here to kind of keep that hook. It's a long shank, so I don't want to weaken it by, really torquing it in the vise. And I'm trying to get a nice stiffness and firmness with my thread right now, so that's why I'll kind of help support that. All right, bring it back to about the bend there. All right, grab another leg. It's a loose wrap. Then you can kind of manipulate where you want it to land. Okay, and then we're gonna fold that leg back down like that. Kind of grab both of them a little bit. There we go. Man, that looks good. All right, that's all you got to do. But I mean, kind of really, that's all you can do. I wonder if I still got it. Man, I used to have one of these. Oh, here it is. Look at this, guys. This is a true story. This used to be one of these that I'm tying, and I caught, I think I caught probably 28 to 30 trout on it. And as it looks right here, you're not gonna believe me, but I caught 5 trout with it looking like this. So, how pretty does it need to be? You just need to fish on the hungry fish, and I'm telling you, they'll eat it. All right, now that we got that, we got to go start on the body here. So you get your chenille and then strip off the end to expose the thread. Gives you a good little tie-in point. Secure that in real good. Kind of wrapping back onto it. All right, bring the thread up to the head right there. Grab some more super glue. Just a dab or two right there. Okay, now I've got a rotary vise. I suggest tying on those. They're awesome. We're just going to counter wrap this up just with even tension on this hand. Bring it right up to the bend. Let's go ahead and just do a couple securing wraps on that to hold that chenille down. There we go. And then let's just get this out of our way. I've got a material holder right there. And boom, just like that. That'll keep that out of the way. Good. Grab another leg. Doesn't matter which side you do. This is a little bit, this when I first started tying these, this part was kind of frustrating. It took me a little while to figure out how to tie these legs on and kind of get them where you need to be. But once I kind of muscled through that, I figured out a pretty good method. So what I do is take the leg and wrap it around the thread as it's just dangling, okay? And so you're gonna end up like that, okay? It's just looped around it, okay? Then drag that up to where you want it to go, and then just put a little tension, and then boom. It'll stay right there. You do a wrap, do 2 wrap, and then you can let it dangle, okay? And so kind of less is more right there. And you can, what I like to do too, take that front leg and fold it back. And then I'll take my thread and I'll kind of start to dam a little bit of thread right there in front of that leg. And then that helps kind of push it out away from its body a little bit, okay? Bring it back through. There you go. Happy Flat Tie Friday, everybody. If you're enjoying your Friday, then smash that like. All right, the second one, I'm gonna go on the other side now. Same exact thing. We're gonna just take that, wrap it right around the thread, take our thread up, and push it right in place, all in one motion, just like that. Simple. Easiest thing I've ever done. You can do it too. Okay, I'll fold them all back just like that. Okay, take everything, fold it back. A few wraps in front of there. Kind of helps keep those legs pushed out. And the reason why I like this, I know you guys have been fishing, and you've seen those little spiders, you know, jumping around on top of the water. I'm going after that profile. I want this silhouette look in the water column while I'm drifting by these fish. If they see, you know, details and stuff, they may think, that's not real, you know. So I'm giving them the silhouette to be like, oh, that's food. Boom, I need to react on that and eat the food to stay alive. So doesn't need to be perfect fly. Just needs to look like a relative size of something that they eat. This might look like a cricket to them, maybe. If it's drifting by them really fast, then they're gonna think, oh, I don't really care what it is. It might be food. I'm hungry. Let's eat it. Cool. All right. Once I bring it up to the head, I'm gonna definitely take several wraps right there because we're gonna use the rotation of the vise again to help us tie it up. So go ahead and grab the chenille. There we go. Actually, from here, it's probably easier to just start wrapping by hand and counter wrapping by hand. So that's why I'll just do that. Hand over hand right there. Bring it right up to the top. Snug up against that head. And then I'll take some wraps around. A few in front. Push that around like that. That really helps secure that forward. All right. Snip that really close into there. All right, set that off to the side. That'll be used later. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start trimming up some of these legs. You can definitely trim these as you go. Probably be a little bit easier to trim them as you go to get rid of as much material as you can. And then as you get used to tying them up, they stay out of your way usually. They don't seem to bother me, but you kind of want your antennae and your legs and everything like that to be proportionate. You don't want it to look this crazy. I think that definitely is too gimmicky. It'll definitely spook some of the trout versus attract them. So again, I'm trying to match a silhouette and a pattern of a potential bug that they would see normally in the wild. And so around here in Western North Carolina, our bugs right now, they're definitely hatched up, they're flying around, but they're not huge. So and they're maturing. So I'm going to take these down, relatively small here. For the legs, I will just take these down. I'll grab both of them, and then right at the end of the hook, that's where they need to be cut. And you just do that on the other side. And then you'll now get them pretty much exactly the same length. There we go. That looks good. Maybe a little bit more on the tail here. There we go. All right, there it is. All right, so grab the whip finisher. We're going to finish it out now. We've almost got a completed pattern here, just some finishing touches. I like to get a good, I'll whip finish it out until I get a nice solid brown neck. And then, yeah. That builds it up. This is a little bit larger bead, I think a 4.6. Yeah. So I did several turns on the whip finish, but basically you just, build it up enough to where the thread is really thick against that bead head. And then here, let's get some UV clear fly finish in the flow. the UV light. Just really soak it in right there. Go all the way around. That's where the rotary vise comes in handy. And cure a little bit. This just helps improve the durability, helps it hold together a little bit longer, catch a few extra fish on it. Although, you know, caught a lot of fish on this. So this is what it looked like in the beginning. Then I went fishing. Caught close to 30. And that's what it ended up looking like. And I caught almost five fish with it looking like that. Okay. So when it's on, it's incredibly deadly for trout. Okay. And that's the proof. I had to keep it, and nobody would believe me. Actually, I was fishing with a buddy, so I definitely, somebody would be able to vouch for me that they saw me catch close to 30 trout in a day on this pattern. It started out looking like this, and then it ended up looking like this. So smash that like and subscribe, okay? I'm telling you, you're gonna catch more fish if you're tying these patterns up. All right. Let's add a little bit more of that clear though, especially on this on the back side. Really build that up. Add a little. Go ahead and cure it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of build up even more weight on the bottom end of this fly. That's just really going to make this pattern, you know, kick up and kind of bounce along those rocks right on the bottom. That's exactly where I want to fish this pattern, right on the bottom. All right. So now that I've got a nice good base of resin cured in on that, now let's go to some thicker stuff, but it's still thin, okay? But it is a little bit thicker than the flow. And let's just hump it. There it is. And I love this stuff. It cures really quick using this UV light, and the clearness of it. It basically just grabs the color of whatever you're putting it on, and we really want it to look nice and black like that. That's it. That's the pattern. Yeah. You're going to like this one. I'm telling you. You're going to catch a heck of a lot of fish on it. All right. Let's see. We got time. We got time for one more. All right. If you're new here, we're tying up a slush mop fly. This is a trash fly. This is a fly that your traditional friends are going to make fun of you about. But then when you catch your personal best and likely, you know, beat their personal best with this fly, they're probably going to ask you, hey man, do you have an extra one in there? I caught the largest brook trout of my life using this fly that I'm about to tie up. You can check out the video. It was a brook trout. It was a 17-inch brook trout. Grab you a size 12. This is an Umpqua U555 in the jig. And so I've got a slotted tungsten bead in the 4.6 millimeter size. Pop it on and pop it in. Nice, Jordy, new subscriber. Awesome. Welcome to the channel, bud. If you guys are commenting, I'm not seeing comments, but you guys, it's been a long time since I've went live, so I'm not sure if YouTube's changed the chat or anything like that, but leave a comment. I'll reply to you. Ask a question, feel free. I'll let you know everything that I know. Sorry, a little bit of setup here, changing over. We're just putting in some fluorescent pink thread. Still 140 denier. All right, so we're ready to rock and roll. Let's see, here's the body material. I only know I'm gonna tie one, so that should be plenty. About an inch piece if you're only tying one. How's everybody doing on a Fly Tie Friday? Hopefully everybody's getting off of work or close to it. Okay, let's get some lead wire to secure this bead. Now this is a little bit heavier bead. I'm going to be fishing some current tomorrow. I know we're getting some rain and the river's going to be up, so I do normally tie this in a 4 millimeter size, so we are going a little bit heavier. All right, so since this is a jig hook, we're using a slotted bead head. So definitely, if you're new to fly tying, any sort of jig hook is going to have this little bend right at the end, and to better fit your bead around that, there needs to be a slot in that. So look for slotted tungsten beads if you're tying on a jig hook. Let's wrap some lead around. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's do 10 wraps, and with this little extra right there, we can wrap some more if that's not enough. Actually, 10 worked out perfect. So what I'll do is I'll get that lead wire kind of channeled into that slot, and with my thumbnail, or you can even use a bodkin if that's better for you if you don't have a nail. Just kind of pinch that lead right down into the slot and just start helicoptering. There you go. Now to fold it up right in there. Good. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Fly Tie Friday. Appreciate you checking it out. You're just getting to the good stuff. Smash that like and subscribe if you want to start hooking lips. Start your pink thread on there. A generous portion. Wrap back up and let's get several wraps. Start building a little bit of a dam behind that lead wire. There we go. All right, so I'm going to cover this hook with just about a perfect wrap on wrap single layer, going back to about right there, and then kind of a rib heading back. Now you won't be able to see the detail on that with the way I've got my stuff set up right now, and that's unfortunate, but there's basically, it looks like some texture on that, just how I wrapped it, just the single back, single forward to the head, okay? So now you're gonna get your slush jelly material there. You're gonna see how these fibers flow like that, okay? So this is going to be the head. So find the head of your material and just start kind of pulling off some of that material. There you go. It exposes some thread there that you can tie in. That's good. And I'll fold that back. Okay, we're going to trim that. So pull back on that a little bit. About right there. We're going to angle this like that. Boom. Now for the secret weapon. Get some dubbing. Shell pink flow. Okay? Every fly's got to have a secret weapon, right? So that's what this is. The shell pink flow. It has some UV properties in it as well. Go ahead and dub on a nice, good, generous portion. You can lick your fingers if it's having a hard time. There it goes. This took me a while to learn too, and I'm still not great at it, but you pinch it, twist, and then let off. Don't try to, twist and keep rolling, okay? You twist it, let off, twist it, and it's basically you're twisting it in the same direction. And you're just twisting it right around the thread itself. Okay, that's good enough. I'll mess it up if I keep going. All right. We're just going to wrap this. Okay, I want to get some more. Start off with a little bit, and you can always add. It's more difficult to take out or take away. I shouldn't eat it. I shouldn't eat it. There we go. Got some of the stragglers. You can kind of just force them back. We're going to get a nice hot pink hot spot right up front. So get your whip finisher now. We're almost done. And just start building up a nice pink hot spot right there at the head. The UV fly finish here and the flow. Scorch it up to cure. All right, grab a dubbing brush. This is like a little pick. There's a bodkin and little brush here. And just start teasing out those flow dubbing fibers. Try not to scratch the thread, and just kind of focus on the dubbing. And there it goes. That's it right there. This thing is deadly as well. If you've got some murky water, or you're fishing, yeah, it rained. It works as a streamer, works as just a straight drift. You can work it, you can jig it, you can work this bait or this fly so many ways. Don't show your friends. Keep this one a secret. Just start smacking fish with it, and then let them ask you what you're using, and then you can show them, maybe, or you could just keep it a secret. That's fine. I'm giving you guys my secrets here. Forgot to do one thing. What I do like to do on this thread body here is I'll go back and I'll take the flow and I'll actually put just a super thin layer right on the threads. Then I'll torch that. And that just really improves some durability. And I'll come back. And you're just putting literally just a little bit, just enough to just make it look like glass. Not much at all. They'll munch this up. So I think that'll be it for Fly Tie Friday today, folks. I really appreciate you guys' support, tuning in, smashing that like, hitting the subscribe button, and sharing it with your friends. I'm gonna try to post some more videos this year for sure. I'll definitely be doing a lot of my go-to patterns. Oops, sorry, cleaning up. Definitely gonna be tying up some go-to patterns. Probably a lot. I mean, if it works, why try to do something any crazier? I mean, these are still crushing and catching fish right now until that stops, and I'll figure out something else to tie up. But thanks again, folks. We'll catch you later. Hook and lips. Yeah, stop.